Hey guys, got another really cool find here. This is a 2014 Chevrolet Sonic. It's a notchback, as they call it, the non-hatchback is what I like to say. Vehicle was brought in. I'll show you what it was brought in for here. They're saying that the high mount stop lamp there is staying on non-stop. As you can see, lights on and won't go out. So I thought, okay, maybe we got a stuck closed brake switch. The only problem with that is, so the other two lights aren't on. The other brake lights there. So I went straight over to service information here. Pull up the schematic. Computer runs slow sometimes. Once I get the schematic pulled up here, I'll show you how this works. Come on. There we go. Exterior lights, stop lights. Okay. So what we've got here, here's your body control module up top, and body control module has battery voltage. What that does is it supplies voltage to the lights in the back at the appropriate time. So when you hit the brake pedal, it sends a command to the BCM to close the brakes light switches. In this case, F10DA, the top one there, is the center mount stop lamp. So what that does, it supplies voltage here. As you can see, it goes to the notchback, so those are the connectors there. Then it goes down to your LED. That little symbol there is a symbol for an LED. Center high mounted stop lamp. Then it goes to ground. So the problem was it was staying on the whole time. My first suspect was a bad body control module. So I took everything apart and I tested for voltage at the brown and yellow wire at the BCM. And I had nothing. So I thought, okay, that's weird. Why are the stoplights on then if I don't have any voltage? There was nothing. Lights were still on. Disconnect the connector at the body control module. No voltage. So I go here to the connector in the trunk and I test for voltage there. No voltage there either. Okay, at this point I thought this is getting really weird because there's no voltage on either side of these control circuits, and yet the light is still on. I went over here to the scan tool. I commanded the, where are we at here? Yeah, the center stop lamp command on and off, and it didn't change. So I was starting to get pretty stumped. I didn't know what was going on. It can't be a bad BCM because there's no voltage there. And there's no voltage all the way up to the trunk. It just wasn't making any sense. So I got to looking at it, and I went out, got another Sonic, and I compared the light brightness because I was looking at this and I thought, you know, that looks awfully dim. So I wasn't exactly sure what was going on, and it was a lot dimmer than the other ones were. So I thought it's got to be something stupid obvious. So I took everything apart here, dug into the connector there, tested everything. Everything tested good. Had good power and ground from the BCM, and followed it up here, and I had to take this trunk insulation off, as you can see that, all those little retainers that hold that thing on. And I started looking up in here and I realized this has been taken apart. As you can see there, if you look close on that connector there, we got some broken tabs that hold them in place. This one here was hanging loose. I already tucked it back in. And it looked like this had been messed with before, so I thought, okay, something stupid obvious has got to be going on. It was the end of the day, so I went ahead and I just closed the trunk, and let me make sure I got the keys out of there. Let's see. Yep, here's the keys. So I closed the trunk, parked the vehicle back outside, and just like I had done there, I left my DVOM in there. So I went to go get my DVOM. I tried to pop it here because before, the first time, I just popped it with the key fob while I was in the vehicle. But I went to open it by hand here, and there's nothing. You can push that switch all day and the latch won't open. But if you use the fob, Opens right up. That's when the gears started turning. So I thought, all right, something has got to be going on here, because that switch doesn't work up there between the two license plate bulbs, and the brake light is stuck on. So I got to thinking about it. What's got power all the time? It's got to be that little switch that pops the trunk, and it doesn't work, and the brake light is stuck on. That's when everything started all making sense, and I finally found out that the center mount stop lamp and the trunk release connector have the exact same type of connectors here. If you look at this one here, this is the one going to your stop lamp, and then if you look at this one up here, this is the one going to your trunk release. They are the exact same connectors. Put two and two in, together, if I can talk straight here. It's a little difficult to do. So I switched the connectors here, plugged that one in there, this one up in here, swapped them from where they were before. Bingo, brake lights off, and the trunk opens. So that was, I've heard of stuff like this happening before, but I've never really seen a situation like this where the wires are within length. These two circuits here, these two connectors, are within length of each other, of being connected up incorrectly, and they're the exact same type of connector. They're interchangeable basically, and they'll reach each other. I've never seen that before. I've never seen them hooked up backwards like that. I can see how easily this mistake would have been made. My assumption, what happened was this vehicle was probably taken to a body shop for body damage, and they might have replaced a trunk lid, who knows. And when they put everything back together, they just kind of ripped everything out of there. As you can see, the broken connector there and a couple other things hanging loose. So they didn't really take their time and do it right, make sure they hooked everything up properly, and they ended up swapping those connectors. And the thing is, I looked into this, it's only a 5-volt reference voltage that goes to this switch here. That's why this brake light was dim, and why it was on all the time, and why the trunk wouldn't open with the button. So swap the connectors, put everything back together, works perfectly. Brake light's off, trunk opens, it's all fixed. Probably one of the coolest finds I've ever had here. You get good ones like this every once in a while. Every time you get to the point where you're just absolutely stumped, or you're following service information and it says if you've got voltage then replace the BCM, and it gets to the point where you don't have voltage yet the light's still on like that, it's something stupid. Simple and easy, but can be the most difficult thing to find until you just start looking for stuff like this. Anyways, cool find. I thought I'd share that with you guys. Hope you found it interesting.